Welcome everyone to Andre's Basketball Worlds podcast or the ABW podcast. And on today's podcast, we are talking about the entire Eastern Conference from all 15 teams. We're talking about all 15 teams in this video. I'm gonna try to get into much details as I want to by each team, but I'm not trying to make this too long. So make sure you guys hit the like, comment, and subscribe. Also, go over to Spotify and Pandora is where Andre's Basketball Worlds podcast, which is the audio version of this, that'll be available on there, and I upload random videos on that too. Some from here on YouTube, but the other time it just be the solo stuff real quick. But let's get started. Let's we're gonna I just pull up the conference in general, so we're gonna go in the order that they had the conference. So we're gonna do it like that. Let's talk about the Indiana Pacers. All right, the team that just came out from the NBA Finals. Fantastic finals for them. Fantastic run in general. For the past 2 seasons, it's been epic to watch them defying the odds. Deep playoff runs, NBA Finals pushed all the way to Game 7. You lost, but that's okay. That is a-okay. We lose Tyrese Halliburton. You lose Tyrese Halliburton. Where did this team go from now? Personal opinion alone, I think now Andrew Nembhard takes over the starting point guard role, which is a play position he said he has played before, so he's very comfortable with playing that position. I think he takes over that. I think Benedict Mathurin comes into the starting lineup in general, and he picks up his style of play. You add in Pascal still being on the team. I think their weakest position, in my personal opinion, is the center position. But a combination of Isaiah Jackson, James Wiseman, that they should be coming back from injury. Wiseman should be. I think those are good. Oh, and J Huff, my fault. And J Huff, I think that should suffice for the center position. Because you lost Miles Turner. Depends on who you are. It might be an upgrade, might be a downgrade. I don't know. I think this team is still a playoff team. I think I still got them in the playoffs. Yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't still be a playoff team. A lot of people are looking down on them being a playoff team. I think they're still a playoff team. I think they are a big threat in the East still, even without Halliburton being around. And I think the young players, the other players who didn't, they impacted the game a different way as like the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, the third, fourth, fifth, sixth options. I think now everybody upped their roles. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see how Nemhart handles the basketball decisions and stuff as the point guard. We're gonna see Benedict Mathurin coming in and try to score and do what he does, what he was doing off the bench, especially in the playoff settings and in the final settings, and what he was doing. Add that to what Pascal's already doing. I'm expecting to see Pascal going back to his all NBA status and stuff. And they're potentially, I think it'll be, yes, I know losing Halliburton, your playmaker, your guy, but it gives opportunities for everybody else to come in and do their thing, which I think they will. Personally, opinion, I think they will. I think the Pacers are still a playoff team. I think they're still a top six playoff team in the East. So that's how I see the Pacers. That's how I see the Pacers. From the Pacers, we're going over to the Chicago Bulls. Now, Chicago Bulls, they got a bunch of young players. They re-signed Josh Giddey. This Bulls team is it's okay. It's okay. They started making a lot of noise last year, late in the run last year, where they're pulling off these wins. They're going deep. They're pulling off these wins. They're getting the fan base rehyped up and stuff like that, which is always good. Oh, it's always good. I think the Bulls are a play-in team this year. I think the Bulls are a play-in team this year. I'm expecting jumps. I'm expecting Josh Giddey to take another jump, whether that's more offensively, but probably not the scoring wise. I think scoring wise, he probably could put up 17 or 18 points a game. I think more of the playmaking, more of grabbing the rebounds. I think all that stuff goes up. I think his offensive production takes a leap up. I think Kobe White continues to take that step forward too. I think Montes Bazulis take those steps. I think a lot of these players are going to want to take some step forward, and it's going to be really positive. Vucevic, I think the two players I'm looking at that either they goes in with the times or they find themselves out the door. It is Vucevic and it's Pat Williams. I think those are the two names that I'm looking right now, in my personal opinion, that could be finding themselves out of the door. Whether or not that happens, I don't know. But they have to something. Pat Williams, he has to be something. He has to, what I'm saying, are you a what kind of player are you? Are you a defensive player that could hit threes at times? Or are you a role player that's getting paid all this money for no reason at this point? We got to figure out what Pat Williams is supposed to be, especially for the Bulls. If the Bulls don't see it, like I don't think I see it, if he doesn't have a production that I'm thinking he should have, I say trade him, man. I say trade him, man. He should be able to give you at least 12 to 13 points a game easily, in my personal opinion. Should be a good 3-point shooter. Should be a good defensive player. Should be a better rebounder, in my personal opinion. I think he should be one of those um, elite defensive players, the defensive forwards. You know what I'm saying? I think he has that in his arsenal. I don't know what's stopping him from doing it. That's my question. What's stopping him from doing it? I don't think it's a lack of opportunities. I mean, it's the Bulls. I mean, what lack of opportunities do you have? This is a team that's looking for anybody and everybody to come in and do something. Give us a stamp somewhere. So I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know. And for Vucevic, he's just older. That's it. Nothing crazy. He could be a buyout candidate. He could play the rest of the season now. He could be traded. We don't know. It's a very question mark. He's still hitting his shots. He's still productive for the Bulls, but I think it'd be best for the Bulls and for him to separate. Maybe the Bulls can trade him and get their starting center of the future. What team can Vucevic get traded to that would give the Bulls their starting center? I don't know. I don't know at this moment in time. I could predict so many different. Like, oh yeah, they could trade him to blah 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 blah. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if the Pacers would be interested in Vucevic. I wouldn't be surprised about that. Give him another offensive minus center that can hit threes. He can mid-range his shots. He's a 18-point per game scorer, double-digit rebounder. It gives him something next to Siakam, who's also, like I said, Siakam's already a good defensive player. I think the Pacers are a really good defensive team. So giving away of Isaiah Jackson and or James Wiseman to get Nikola Vucevic, I think the Pacers could do something like that. So that could be definitely a spot for them to do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. That's just my personal opinion. That's the way I see it. The Cleveland Cavaliers. We're going to switch up to Cleveland Cavaliers, and I don't know. The past few seasons, the Cavs are. I think a lot of people has predicted the Cavs to be conference finals in or NBA finals by now. I think that's something. I think last year was one of their best years possible, regular seasons wise, outside of the LeBron era. One of the best regular season wise, and it fumbled. It fumbled in the playoffs. It fumbled in the playoffs. Darius Garland gets hurt. Was it Jerry Allen? Did he get hurt? I want to say Jerry Allen got hurt. Some players got hurt, and now we're right back to. Oh, now what? Well, now they got a reinsurance with Lonzo Ball. If Lonzo Ball's healthy for the season and stuff, that's the replacement for Darius Garland. So if Darius Garland goes out again in the playoffs, Alonzo comes in and he plays really well, which I'm assuming that we all assuming he will, and he plays good. Darius Garland might be on the chopping block. Darius Garland might be on the chopping block. Evan Mobley just won defensive player of the year, but no one's. I don't think anybody really cares. I really haven't heard like when we bring up Evan Mobley, I feel like you keep saying potential instead of like he is a defensive player of the year winner. He's won the award. Maybe because Wemby got it, because it was supposed to be Wemby's and then Wemby went out and now it was just Evan Mobley as a consolation prize. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. But I'm assuming this year he steps it up offensively. I think he probably scratches or enters the 20-point per game mark. So Evan Mobley enters like a 20 to 22-point game, double digit rebounding, and to keep doing elite defense. I think that's exactly what's going to happen with him this upcoming season. Jerry Allen and Darius Garland are probably two players that I will keep my eye out on for the Cavs to make some sort of trade. Probably not in the middle of the season, unless everything just goes to crap. Not in the middle of the season, but probably in the postseason, depends on how far they go. You know what I'm saying? We saw them have a crazy record this past season. Amazing. Didn't get to where they should have gotten, especially with the Celtics going out. This should have been a playoff team. This should have been a conference finals team. They should have probably been playing against Indiana or New York, but they didn't do it. So, like I said, when you have teams like the Knicks and the Pacers that has gotten as far as they've gotten, the Cavs to them are probably not a threat to them. They're probably like, yeah, we have to deal with them, but they're not a threat anymore. because we beat them type deal. So the Cavs got now we're at the point where the Cavs got to show it, man. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? Just do it. What we doing here? Hopefully they can do it. Am I betting money on it? I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. From the Cavs, let's talk about the Detroit Pistons. The Detroit Pistons surprised me last year. They surprised me. I think they surprised a handful of people last year. The fact that they got into the playoffs, they were a playoff team, and they took the Knicks to the limit. Quite honestly, I think that could have been a seven. I think that was a 7 game series. I think um, one of the shots. Well, I forgot what game that was. One of the shots where I think it was Tim Hardaway that got fouled, or somebody got fouled. Somebody got fouled on 3-point shot on the Pistons side, and they didn't call it. They kind of waved it off. I was like, nah, that was a foul. I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy. I didn't get that. But that's a 7 game. That was a 7 game series war. Cade bursting through the scene like he's doing it off. Like, man, that's amazing to see from Cade. That's amazing to see from Cade. And Cade's gonna continue to do this, right? Cade's gonna be continue to do this. He's gonna be a triple threat. He's gonna be a walking triple threat every single night. Who's gonna be his second option? That's the $250 question. Who's gonna be his second option? Jaden Ivey should be back this year. Will Jaden Ivey and Cade work in the backcourt? That's been the question for a couple of years now. Now Jaden been out for the injury, and then the Pistons did what they did. So if Jaden Ivey comes in and he plays just as well as Cade did, and they can work this duo out, yeah, now they become more of a threat. They become more of a threat. Jalen Duren taking another step up offensively will be great for the team. Adding Duncan Robinson for more 3-point shooting. Sir Thompson's going to take another leap, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Man, it's just crazy to see that the Thompson twins are crazy defensive players, but sure, a little bit better defensive player, a little bit better. Not too much crazy, but just a little bit better. Outside of that, I mean, you got some names. You got some shooters over there. You have the recipe for the Pistons. You have a recipe to get back into the playoffs and to make a deep playoff run this time. If they don't have to deal with the Knicks until like the second round or something, ideal. That'd be ideal. So far, the Pacers, the Cavs, and the Pistons are the 3 teams that got making the playoffs so far. So I'm just keeping track. Now we have to drop that down a little bit. We got to go talk about the Milwaukee Bucks, and I don't like the Bucks team. I don't. Outside of Giannis and Miles Turner and Bobby Portis to an extent, I don't like this team. I don't like this team. I don't like the way. I don't like the construction of the team. I don't like the what they're trying to do, which I don't know what they're trying to do. At this moment in time, they're trying to keep Giannis happy. So they signed both Alex and they signed both of his. They signed 2 out of his brothers, 2 out of the 3 of his brothers already. They're just trying to keep him happy there. If the season is not seasoning for the Bucks, where they were there like the 6th seed, flirting with the 7th seed like that, yeah, yeah, it'd be time. It'd be time. Now, granted, I can't say they can fix that. They can't fix that because their pick situation. You know what I'm saying? Their pick situation makes it very difficult to fix everything that they have, man. Because they gave up so many picks for the Drew Holiday trade, for the Dame trade. They did so much and they got rid of so many picks. It's like it's scary over there in Milwaukee. I'm not gonna lie. If you're Milwaukee fans, it's kind of scary over there. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Giannis have already said that he would love to stay in Milwaukee. He would love to stay, but he also wants to win, and he can't. He can only. He's going to go a place to where he can win and compete for a championship. You know what I'm saying? And at this moment of time, the way that the Bucks are constructed, that's not gonna work. That's definitely not gonna work. I don't see him staying for I don't see him staying for too long, man. I ain't gonna lie. And only that, now I think he was saying that he was I think now he's also saying that he wants to finish out his career in Greece. Which means can there be a timeline to how long it would be before he gets there? That's my question. How long? What's the timeline looking now? The timeline could be looking shorter than we ever thought. It could definitely be shorter than what we thought. But it's scary in Milwaukee. And right now, I'm trying to figure out their pick situation. Trying to figure out where I can find their picks at the pick situation at. so I can show you guys on screen what I'm talking about. But it is getting a little scary out there. It's not fun, and if I'm a Milwaukee fan, I would be nervous. And then the question pulls up. The question is like this: If he's traded, if he asks for a trade, where exactly will you trade him to get some of your assets back? That's the main question that I would have. That's what I'm thinking because ah you know what I'm saying, I don't know about that. I could not figure out. I could not find it. It might be a while since I've seen it. I was gonna pull it up on Twitter from Legend of Winning, but he shares so much stuff and retweets so much stuff that I don't think I can find it right now. Da, 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 da. But I don't like anything that the Bucks are doing. I know what they're trying to do, but I don't like it. I don't like the way they're doing it. In my personal opinion, I'll start trading every. I would have done a. If it was me, I would have tore down the. Yeah, I can't find it. Screw it. If I was the Bucks, I would have tore down everything and just say, Giannis, we're gonna rebuild from scratch. Just let them know early. Let them know early. But that's enough with the sadness of the Bucks. I got the Bucks. The Bucks is a play-in team. I ain't gonna lie. The Bucks might be a play-in team. I don't know. I think Giannis gonna have a fantastic year. I think he's gonna put up some of the numbers that he hasn't put up in ever. I think he's gonna have a big year. But mm-mm, mm-mm. From the depressing Bucks, let's talk about the Washington Wizards. A very young team full of young players and two veterans, and CJ McCollum and Chris Middleton, two players that I believe will be in the buyout market because that's smarter than anybody trade for them. Because you trade for them, what are you doing? Buyout market, buyout market. Young team, young athletic team. They're getting a lot of defensive minded players. They're just in the rebuilding phase, which is perfect. This is perfect. This is exactly what the Wizards should be doing. So they're going to be more towards the bottom of the East, looking to get more players, assets, and stuff. So that's good. That's good. I like the way the Wizards are looking. I always said that the Wizards need to rebuild. I've been saying that probably since I think whenever the John Wall injuries started really coming on and he wasn't playing as much, and they had Bradley Beal on the team for no reason. I was like, man, I said trade Bradley Beal and start the rebuild. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Let's start the rebuild early. Get the talent you can get as soon as possible. Maybe by the end of the decade. Whew, sorry. Maybe by the end of the decade, they'll be competing for. They compete for something. They play for a play-in spot. Eventually, maybe by the 2029, 2030 season, they'll be looking to be inside the playoffs. And now we'll all be talking about what the development looking like, what their team is looking like defensively, how Alex Sarr is developing, how um what's his name Bilal, how he's developing, how this team has been built, which is good. Which is like I said, is good. Like I said, when you got a team like this that had a bad history of just being a bad team, it's good. It's good that now rebuilding, starting from scratch, building up something. That was good. Better late than never. A lot of teams refuses to do that. They just refuse. Why? I don't know why they refuse, but they just refuse to do that. So hey, shout out to the Wizards. I like the way y'all doing. The Hornets. I'm a question mark on the Hornets. The Hornets are a play-in team when LaMelo is healthy, but he hasn't been healthy. That's the issue that we've been having. That's the issues I've been having. Like LaMelo is a great point guard. I think he's a top 10 point guard in my personal opinion. I'm pretty sure I have him top 10. Yeah, he's like a top 10 point guard. But it's just he's injured. He's injured a lot. So he's here for a little bit, but then he's on the sideline because he's hurt. And then we don't see much from him when he gets back. I mean, we don't see this team reaching its full potential because of his injury. So if he's going to be injured, how are we supposed to see what the Hornets are supposed to be here in the future? It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just eh, eh, eh. So the Hornets, just a fully healthy Hornets team. We just need to see a full season of healthiness to see exactly where the Hornets is at, and they're retooling, rebuilding, whatever they're whatever this is supposed to be at this point at the time. This has been post Kimba. Kimba Walker has been on the team since the 1920 season, or the 1920 season. So yeah, that's the last time we saw Kimba Walker in a Hornets uniform. And oh no, 18-19 season, because he got traded because he went. My fault. He went to the Celtics. He went to the Celtics. Yeah, in the 18-19. Yeah, no, 1920 season. So yeah, 1920 season. He's on the Celtics. So they haven't had him there in 6 going on 7 years, and the only thing they known to do, they made the play in once or twice, I think. That was it. That's it. So what are we doing here? So what kind of rebuilding are we doing? They got nice pieces. Like I said, LaMelo, Brandon Miller, those are two really good pieces to have right there. It's just figuring out everything else and see what sticks and what doesn't stick, who's here and who's not here. It's difficult. It's definitely difficult, but a fully healthy year would answer everything that the Hornets need to answer. Fully healthy year, most of the team is fully healthy. They can figure like, all right, this works, this doesn't, this does, this, and they'll be able to knock down what they need to do to correct their team. But they can't do it if their one of their star players, their best player, arguably for now, is injured. So now with a Hornets trade LaMelo, I wouldn't put past no team trading anybody. After Luka got traded, hey, anybody can be traded. I ain't gonna lie, anybody can be traded. That's just me. The Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks they look like a team that's ready to make a deep playoff run, which is always awesome. Trey Young, wasn't Trey Young supposed to have a sit down talk? I don't know if he actually had it or not today. Pretty sure. I think he's supposed to be today. He's supposed to be having a sit down, making an interview and stuff. I'm assuming just to knock out some narratives or something. I don't know, but this is a really good Hawks team, fully healthy Hawks team. Of course, Zingas is good to go and stuff like that. That's a really good team to have. I personally, I think. I mean, a couple years ago, I made a video saying Trey Young will be traded at some point. Hasn't came true just yet, but I still feel like that's going to happen. I still feel like that will happen. That he will be traded off of the team sooner than later. Like I said, unless he sits down and said, "No, I'm here for the long run," but then that'd be the front office that'd be saying, "Yeah, we could trade him away." You never really know, but I like Trey Young. I think Trey Young's a great player. I think he's becoming underrated a lot. He was averaging 11 assists with the team that he had last year, and I was definitely surprised. I was definitely surprised. It said a 15. It said 10, 15, 25, but yep, that he hasn't said anything. So as of this recording, Trey Young hasn't said anything. So I don't. Yeah, yeah. I haven't seen anything. Hmm. Okay, okay. I don't think it's gonna be anything too major. I think it's just like I said. I think he probably trying to clear some stuff. But he's a great player, though. He's a great player, underrated player. I think it's time for to get back into those playoffs, see what he's about, see how far this team can go with him. Him, Dyson Daniels, Porzingis. They got the killer Alexander Walker off the bench. They got a squad. They got a squad. That's definitely a playoff team. So the recap, like I said, Pacers, Cavs, Pistons, and the Hawks are the four teams that got in the playoffs so far. We still got to figure out the other four. But those are the four teams that got in the East. That's a playoff team. That's a legit playoff team. Not no. They might make no. Those are four legit playoff teams right now. The Miami Heat. They lost. They're gonna lose Tyler Hero for the first few weeks of the season. He just had surgery or so. So that opened up the door for them to probably be bad. That's what I'm assuming. I think Bam's gonna have a bounce back year this upcoming year, but that's pretty much the extent of what Bam Adebayo is gonna end up doing. I don't like this Heat team is okay. I don't think they're the same Heat team from the early 2020s years where they were competing and going to war with all these teams. I don't think that's them no more. Maybe because it was the Jimmy Butler effect. That's probably got them doing that. But I think if the Jimmy Butler effect is like that, to where we all thinking that they can compete and win a championship at some point, to what it is now, and we got a lot of problems. You know what I'm saying? But I think Norman Powell will take that starting shooting guard position. So he had a his best season last year for the Clippers. Got Terry Rozier still. Mitchell's back. Davon Mitchell's back. Expecting to see a jump from. Well, I don't know what we're gonna get from Andrew Wiggins anymore. From the Andrew Wiggins, I think if Andrew Wiggins could go back to his Golden State Warriors days, or maybe even the bad when he was a not that epic like even when he was a player for the T Wolves. I was trying to say when he was with the T Wolves and when he was doing over there. If he can go back to that, I think that would help the Heat out a lot. I think that should help him out a lot, but that's a lot of ifs. That's a lot of ifs. I don't. It's not confirmed. If I had to put a stamp on them, I mean, they was a playoff team last year, so I'm assuming they're a playoff team this year. So I would say so far the Bucks and the Heat are the two play-in teams that I got so far. So that technically that would be 6 teams, 16, but two of them are play-in teams, but they couldn't make their way into the playoffs. Ah, 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 ah. The Atlanta Magic, playoff team. That's a playoff team, so that's my fifth playoff team, right? I mean, that would be my seventh playoff team. The Magic are definitely a playoff team. I think Desmond Bain helps out on a lot of things. I said this before. I just believe they just one elite point guard away because I don't think Jalen Suggs is that point guard for them. I think he's more of a defensive player, a defensive minded point guard. I don't think he's that playmaking, that ball handler type of point guard that a lot of people are kind of leaning to an extent. I don't see that in Suggs. When I see him play, that's not how he plays. He's not that ball. That's not him. He can handle the ball, but I don't think that's him. The playmaking and stuff. I think it's very obvious that's not him. They got Desmond Bain now, who can help keep spreading the floor out for Pablo and Franz to work. We just need Franz to knock down them threes again. That will help out a lot if he can hit his threes to space the floor out more for Pablo to do his thing. And of course, I'm not great at the center position. Like I said, I think Wendell Carter Jr. is cool, but I don't think he's a center anymore. I mean, not center, a starting center in the NBA right now, in my personal opinion. And that's my personal opinion. Nobody else's personal opinion. So an upgrade at the center position, maybe the return of Vucevic, Wendell Kell for Vucevic, who says no. And then a point guard. Now, ironically, let's say this Trae Young thing is him asking for a trade. If I'm Orlando, I'll try to jump on that. Testo asked, asked around, asked the Cavs about Darius Garland, asked the Hawks about Trae Young, asked the Hornets about LaMelo Ball. Somebody wants to give up something. You know what I'm saying? Somebody has to give up something, and somebody's going to. So that's why I'm like, if I'm the Magic, I'm calling certain people. So I'm like, hey, so how do you like so and so? Let's try to make a deal. Let's try to get him over here in the Magic uniform. 'Cause once you get that playmaker, that elite playmaker, or that really good playmaker next to what they got already, that's a deep playoff team. That's a deep playoff team. That's a playoff team that's ready for a conference run, pretty much, in my personal opinion. But yeah, I got the Magic in the playoffs, definitely. Yeah, 100%. The Boston Celtics. Now, I finally get to sit down and talk about this. From the way that the Boston Celtics are constructed, and rumors that Jason Tatum is asking the Celtics that he wants to play this year, I wouldn't do that from the Celtics. I'm like, no, no, no. I feel like this is a gap year for the Celtics. I feel like I've seen this before where the best player on the team, he's hurt, he's out, and they're like, well, he's out. Let's go ahead and just quote unquote, some of these other players have injuries that they can't play all these games and stuff, which means we can tank a little bit and then we can retool in the off season. We can retool during the draft and stuff. We can get whatever pick that looks good. We can add that to our core and we can keep pushing like that. And then everybody will be healthy next year for a championship run. That's what I'm assuming because to get rid of Drew Holiday, Porzingis, let Al Horford walk, that's a lot of changes y'all making to that team. That's a lot of changes in that center position. It's not Al Horford, but it's still as long as there's a defensive minded center that can rebound and catch lobs and play defense, that's fine. That's good enough in the NBA nowadays. That's the question, though. Will the Celtics be able to do that? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think Jalen Brown's going to step it up and be a 25 point. He might in the beginning, and then when he gets that magical injury that he can't play no more, then he'll stop. And then that's pretty much it. Everybody else, I just don't. Other than that, I don't really care too much about about the Celtics team. That's not a playoff team to me. I think they missed the playoff on purpose. I purposely think they'll be an 11th seed. So that's my prediction. That's my prediction for the Celtics. It's 11th seed looking inwards. That way they can retool in the offseason and get back to championship hunt once they have both JT and Jalen Brown going to the next season. That's me. And speaking of an injury mode team, let's talk about the 76ers. A team, I got them in the playoffs. So that's my eighth team in the playoffs. That's it. I mean, healthy. Let's hope we get a healthy season from Joel and Paul George and the team. If not, then we're in trouble. We're in trouble then. But I'm assuming Joel's not playing back to backs. I'm assuming I don't know if Paul George is ready. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. I don't know if Paul George is ready to play or not. I don't know. I think I heard I think somebody said they wasn't even sure if he's gonna be playing or not. That's kind of that's gonna be a bad contract. If it ain't already a bad contract, it's gonna get bad if he can't play. I'm just saying it's gonna get real bad. But healthy wise, we're getting the best health possible. This is what we're thinking of. Best health possible. This is the playoff team. This is probably the second, arguably the third best team in the East. Championship favorites out the East if they're fully healthy. Joel Embiid is going back to what Joel Embiid was before all these injuries took over his career. And that's the case. This is a dangerous team. This is definitely a dangerous team. I said that's my 17. No, that's a team I got in the playoffs, right? So Pacers, Cavs, Pistons, Hawks, Magic, 76ers are my six teams in the playoff. The Bucks, what I said, the Bucks and the Heat are the play-in team. Yeah, Bucks and the Heat are the play-in team. So who's the other two that takes those positions? Wait. Pacers. Yeah. I'm six. Yeah. The Raptors. Now I like the Raptors. I like the way the Raptors are looking. Um, they're doing more length to their bodies. You know, you got quickly RJ Ingram, Scotty Barnes, and Jakopoto. That's a crazy lineup. That's a really good lineup. And for me, I don't like RJ Barrett's fit for this team. Now, unless he comes in and he's a knockdown shooter, he's a defensive minded player coming into the year or whatever. If he's that, then this is better. I don't like his fit right now. I feel like a lot of things that Ingram does on the offensive side, I think that's what RJ Barrett is trying to get to, or if he's not, he's already at. And a lot of things that Scotty Barnes is going to be doing, he kind of does that too, taking the ball out of RJ Barrett's hands. So I'm like, are you about to make an elite 3D type of player? Is what RJ looking like? And I feel like that shouldn't be the case. I feel like he's up. I feel like he's higher up than that, just a little bit higher up than that. I think he's a guy that can give you 23 points per game, like 6 rebounds and maybe 3 to 4 assists, and then elite defense. That's what I'm thinking when it comes to that's what I see from RJ Barrett. I don't think he's gonna do that for this team. I don't think that's gonna be his role. I don't know what his role gonna be, but hopefully he fits in. And then quickly is a cool point guard. That's not who I want to start as my point guard. I think I'll try to get more of a playmaking point guard for this type of team. But I mean, it can work. It can definitely work. Like the Raptors, I got them in the play in so far. I think they can be an 8 seed play in with the Bucks and the Heat. So that's my thinking. The Nets, hey, you got a lot of young guys. You might have to trade Cam Thomas. I don't think he has a no trade clause in that contract that he signed. If he doesn't, that's probably if you did all that for money and everything that happened this then, you're better off getting rid of him and trading him so you don't have to deal with that. And while that's going on, figure out, figure out that team. I think Michael Porter Jr. is going to have an explosive year for himself. I think he's going to be close to 25 points per game. Quite honestly, I think he's going to be doing some stuff that we haven't seen him do in a Denver Nuggets uniform, but I think he's going to do that here in the Brooklyn Nets, which says a lot because offensively, him and Cam Thompson might be their two best offensive minded players on that team, and then everybody else is, all these five rookies that they signed. So five rookies about to be signed, five different rookies going to touch the floor at different points of the time to figure it out. Yeah, man, that's tough. That is definitely tough, but it should be something. I mean, if you're a Brooklyn Nets fan, you can look towards the future. You can look at Cam Thomas and Michael Porter Jr. as assets that you can trade and get better picks, better players added to your team and stuff. And how long y'all gonna hold on Nick Claxton? That's my question. Nick Claxton will be another piece that I'm looking to trade too. If he has a fully healthy year, it looks really good like he used to, then we're good to go. And then finally, the New York Knicks is most likely the championship favorites out the East, considering the Pacers lost Tyrese, which I still think they're still a good team. The Cavs, they got question marks over there, and I think the Knicks is the last team with the less question marks on there, which is good, which is always good. They got that deep playoff run to the conference finals, and they should be able to make the finals this year. They should be able to make the finals. Definitely a playoff team, in my personal opinion. They arguably have they have the top five player in the East in Jalen Brunson. I want to see Cat Williams take, not Cat Williams. Whoa, I want to see Cat take that massive jump. I want to see him take that massive jump more offensively, more than anything. And defensively, I think if he can get his defense to average and then keep his play up, this is a dangerous team. That's definitely a dangerous team. So if it gets to a point where they don't have to worry, they have to worry about Brunson, but Cat is also just killing them just to kill them because he can. I think that would set the Knicks to be on that collision course for the NBA Finals. Yeah, they was right there with the Pacers, but I think this year could be the year that they're looking forward to really hit that gear. My personal opinion. So my playoff teams, the Pacers, the Cavs, the Pistons, the Hawks, the Magic, the 76ers, and the Knicks are apparently those are my seven teams that I got in the playoffs. You got the Bucks, the Heat, the Raptors as play-in teams. So they also added to that. So hey, I think those are the 10 teams in the East that's gonna fight for the play in the play-in and in the playoffs in general. I think those are the teams that's going to do it. I think the Bulls are going to be getting. I think the Bulls get close. I think the Hornets get close, and I think the Celtics purposely miss, in my personal opinion. But that's the East. That's all 15 teams from the East. I will be working on the Western Conference here soon. Make sure you guys hit the like, comment, and subscribe, and share everywhere. And I will catch you guys. I will catch you guys on my next video that I do. Yay.